So if you've downloaded BlueJ and you're going to use BlueJ as your integrated development environment, you should have an icon that looks like a BlueJ. I'm going to double click on that and it'll open the environment for me. And notice how my workspace is currently blank. There's nothing in it. I haven't written a program yet. In BlueJ, when you're ready to write a program, you just click New Class. In Java, new programs are called classes. So I'll click New Class. And this class name should be something that kind of tells you what the program's going to do. It can't start with a special character or a number, and it can't have any spaces in it. So I'll just call this one Hello World. No spaces in Hello World, and no special characters at the beginning. And it's a class, and so I'm going to click OK. And now I see that I have a new icon. That's going to be my program. If you double click on that, it'll open up the coding area. And this is where you can write all your code. So they've put in some real generic things right now in comments. You should replace this with a description of what your program is going to do. So whatever your program job is, we're just going to print out a statement. And then you should also include your name, because when you make it big, somebody might want to see, who's the author of this? I have some questions and I want to use it. So whatever your name is, you'd put that here. And then version, usually I suggest that you put the date here. So whatever the date is. All of the stuff inside of this, so you notice that it's named public class. That has to be in every program. And then here's our own words right back at us. Hello World, that's the name of my program. helloworld.java, it will be saved as. But this has to match that name that you put in originally. And then this bracket has to be there as well. The other code inside of here is not necessary all the way up until that. So these brackets hold in my entire program. Now this next line of code is kind of confusing, but it has to be in every single program. So maybe just save this line and copy paste it in all of your programs. So after the public class and the bracket, you type in public static void main, and then in parentheses, string with hard brackets like that, and some word. Usually people use args. And then I always put in my opening and closing brackets because this is going to house my entire program. So an open bracket and a closed bracket. And it's within this area here that you're going to type all your code. Now notice how I used a double slash and then I wrote type all your code. That's very English, and I'm talking to programmers. I'm talking to humans when I use a double slash. My computer will ignore that code because it's just a comment. If I want to write an actual programming code to print out the words hello world, I use a capital S for the word system, dot, out, dot, print. Print will print out anything I put in parentheses that's in quotation marks. So if I put quote, hello world, quote, and then end it, it'll print out literally the words hello space world. All lines have to end with a semicolon in Java. And then I'm going to write another line of code to show you another print statement. So this time I'm going to put an LN next to the word print. That means print this out. But then when you're done printing out hello, add the return key, or the enter key. And then I'm going to print out another line, maybe just with a print, and see where that shows up. And you can continue on printing as many things as you want. So I would encourage you to do so. But now when I want to run the program, well, compile means take all this code and put it into machine code. So when I hit compile, I notice down here it says class compiled, no syntax errors. I'm just going to move that on the side here and look at that original Eclipse workspace that I had. And now I notice those lines are no longer in here and it looks a little bit different. If you right click on that icon now and you say void main string args, that'll run everything that you wrote in that little section of your program. So we called this void main string args, and now I want to run all of this. So I'm going to right click on that, click on void main string args, and just click OK. And there's the output. Notice how now it says exactly what I told it to say. It says hello world. And then on that same line, because I didn't use an ln here, so it stayed on the same line, it says hello. But after it says hello, it put in the return key. So I'm on the next line. This is a print statement, so it just says world. But then right away it says this is fun because I didn't put in the ln here or here. So again, if you want it to print a return or a new line after this statement, you have to use ln. If you want to stay on the same line, just use print. So I'd encourage you to play around with that for a little bit and put some more print and println statements in.